as teacher educators, we are not aware of what are the banned drugs which are every day they are selling in the market today. We may say this is not our concern, this is not our job. No, this is our job. We have to be very critical about the medical industry. Because they are spoiling, destroying the beautiful country. This we should understand. This is a part of, critical public health education, not just teaching them education, medical education, how to be healthy and what food they should eat and how to maintain hygiene. These are all necessary, but we need to go beyond and become critical about how the industry works and why there are no regulations to control pharmaceutical industries. That is, the private interests are they are dominating the field. That is the neoliberal economy, how it works. When the neoliberal economy, the idea which has come from the West, they were always after individual development. If you give freedom to individual, if you make individual free to realize his or her own goals, potentialities, then that individual generate health. That individual generate wealth. And that wealth will be wealth of everybody. That is the idea of neo-Keynesian neoliberal economy. Friends, what is happening today? People are, private market interests are everywhere. But the wealth the market is creating, it is not equally, distributed across the globe. Maybe in United States, there may be 10 to 20%, even 15% of people, they govern their entire economy. In Europe, that is the same. Very few countries may be exceptional, where the welfare model of people, recently Spain, Ireland, they have declared all, private hospitals, entire private industries as public industries. That kind of reforms they brought after COVID-19. Can my country do that? Can my country make all private hospitals into public hospitals? Can they bring that kind of regulation, that kind of policy? I have to think about it. What is happening elsewhere? Such a serious pandemic where people are going to private hospitals and they're demanding lakhs and lakhs of amount from poor people. There is no space in public hospitals. So people have to go to private hospitals. It's very heartening, very painful when I listen to these stories. And sometimes I cry when I'm alone. I am responsible for this. Now I want to make my students very conscious about this kind of situation. They have to become very conscious, start questioning, because our students have to build a future society, a healthy society for tomorrow, for people. Sir, next slide, sir. Academia, is a very important. That is the reason why I'm talking about. In public health discourse, if you read any textbook in public health, they talk about the role of academia, the institutions of learning, their role in promoting, public health. This we should not forget about it. Next slide, sir. Sir, next slide. Friends, I am coming to just before this. Noushad sir? Yes. Development.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is in this context I started thinking about the field which emerged in the West as development
Alert from
education.
Google Chrome. Rahul Dravid.
Development education, it's not a homogeneous discipline of knowledge. Development education is different for different people. Please understand this. Because the word development is very much contesting. Who are the people? I mean, when you talk about development, what is the idea of development? This every way we see in the politics of discourse every day, the politicians, they discuss that Hyderabad city, like other cities, is a developing city. What do you mean by developing city? What is development? These questions we asked ourselves many times. There are so many private hospitals which have come up.
It's 11:30.
This is the time, we have to think about why the state has not built infrastructure for people. Every district, every small town should have a very good hospital in this country. A lot of wealth is there in our country. It's not that we don't have wealth. We don't have money. We need not spend so much money on defense. So much money on concessions, giving concessions to industries, subsidies to wealthy families. The kind of policy we need to critically look at as teacher educators. Policy studies is very important, and public policy, public health policy studies are very, very important in the field of teacher education. We need to develop, a young mind, to think about people. That is development education. And this, so that, as I mentioned in the beginning, that they should act for a more creating equitable and a society with social justice. That kind of society we need, friends. Next slide. Development education, I quote some of the people who have done work in this area. They said, it is an educational process aimed at increasing awareness and understanding of the rapidly changing, interdependent, and unequal world in which we live. It seeks to engage people in analysis, reflection, and action for local and global citizenship and participation. It is about supporting people in understanding and acting to transform the social, cultural, political, economic structures which affect their lives at personal, community, national, and international levels. Friends, now is the time for all of us to think seriously about some of these important issues. We need to question the market interests. How to bring this kind of thing into our curriculum, how to create a space in the curriculum. I'm not just asking you to add a new paper, okay? But how do you discuss these things with our students? That is, I think, where I think we all agree that some of these concerns are common concerns. Not only my concern, these are also your concerns. Together we should start thinking about these questions and about our people, about our country. Now, Shah Saab, can I stop it here and ask for questions?
Sir, there is a session of question and answer session of half an hour.
Oh,
We have
from-
a lot of questions.
Okay.
If you, sir, अगर सर कुछ और अगर हम जा रहे हैं सर, अगर कुछ इसके टॉपिक के ताल्लुक से अगर कुछ और आप बताना चाहें तो उसके बाद सेशन में स्टार्ट करेंगे क्वेश्चन आंसर.
Yeah. Okay, I can continue. Up to what
Yes,
time
sir.
I can just tell me, sir?
Sir, you can